Hey guys, it's Dolores Medill, and I am going to do a tag today. So I have my notebook at this point, you all know it. I'm going to do the Titanic Writing Tag. This tag was originally created by the Brooke and Destiny Murtaugh. Oof, I'll have their stuff linked down below. I, I slaughter names. I feel bad. But this was created because of their love of the movie Titanic, and I think the questions are cute. And I personally didn't see too many people doing this tag when it came out, when she first came out with it. So I am intrigued to bring it back and see what some people have to say that didn't do it. So, on to the tag, I guess. Um, Question number 1. Rose. Describe what makes your main protagonist internally strong. Um, Most of the questions are going to be from my main, I think actually all my answers, are from my main story, Project Elf. So my main protagonist is a female. Her name, I don't know if I've said her name on here before, but I'm gonna say her name now because I'm probably not gonna change it. Most likely, if you haven't seen from vlogs in the past, I'm very particular with my names. I actually scrapped another story, or not scrapped it, but I'm redoing it because I don't like my characters' names. But this one is different. So my main character is Kira, and what I would say makes her a internally strong character is uh, we don't get well, we do kind of get a little bit into this later in the book because it does play a role, but particularly before we meet Kira when she was younger and growing up, she had to deal with a lot of mental illness, or what she perceived as mental illness, but also because she looked odd and was tall for her age, because she's not fully human, not that she knew that at the time, she had to deal with a lot of self image when she was growing up and people making fun of her and things like that. And she was able to overcome a lot of that, most of that, and become a strong woman, which is what we see her as when we meet her. Now, there are still some mental illness stuff that kind of happens throughout the book that doesn't 100% relate to her when she was younger, but it's still definitely there. So I would say that she's strong for that because she's not consumed by it, but she met it head on and she embraces herself and lives, with the knowledge of what has to happen, who she is, and that stuff is just a part of her. Question number 2. It's been 84 years. Does your book have flashback scenes? If not, what are some examples you reference from your character's past? So I don't have any as of right now, because again, I'm a planter, things can change. But as of right now, I don't have any flashback scenes. The closest to a flashback scene I have is at the beginning of the book. Kira references a story that her dad, David, tells her that she always thought was just another fairy tale story that he grew up telling her about. But later, she finds out that the fairy tale story that she grew up listening to and even like going to sleep to was actually a true story about him and her mother and how they met, kind of their love story. And I don't tell the story in the book, I just reference it by name. but that's the closest thing related to like a flashback I have. Um, and they talk about Kira's mother, Nova, a lot in the sense of they mention her and talk about her at the beginning of the book heavily because it's that intro and her learning about like who she is and stuff. So that's really what that is. But it's the closest thing to a flashback I have. Question number 3, Jack. What makes your main love interest so lovable? So my main love interest is really internally a really sweet guy. He's really caring, um, really, loving, but the catch um is that he doesn't allow people to see that. The first person that really gets to see how caring he is Kira because of how cold and harsh his father is and because of his position. He has to perceive that, not perceive, he has to exude that same um, viewpoint. He has to make it seem like he is also cold, also unfeeling, that nothing phases him, that he is a strong warrior. Very much a lot of the stereotypical male stereotypes that we have. It is what he has to make people believe. But in reality, yes, he is strong physically and he's a great warrior, but he's also sweet and kind and loves his people. He just can't outwardly show that. So I think that will make him very lovable because he's like if you read or watch anime, or people who review anime, you'll hear people uh, call people call characters cinnamon rolls. I see him kind of as that cinnamon roll. He's like just sweet and kind, and you're just like, oh, you just want to like hug him and be like, I'm so sorry, and yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping he sort of becomes. Um, because he's even to a certain degree, even though he's definitely seen battle, he's seen blood, he's unfortunately had to kill people. He's very innocent at the exact same time, and um, it just makes him very endearing, at least to me in my head, like how I created him. But I love him so much. Okay, so number 4, I'm the king of the world. What line or scene from your book could people easily quote or talk about after reading it? I'm still really at the beginning of the book, and I kind of looked through it really quickly, and I don't know, honestly. I didn't really have an answer for that because I feel like I'm too early on in the book to have like a quote of significance. I feel like something like that would happen later on in my book, more towards the middle or like even like towards the end. But who knows? If someone else read how far I am in the book, maybe they could come up with something. But I can't. Not right now. I don't see anything right now. So well I'm skipping that question. Question number 5. My heart will go on. Do you have a uh, forbidden love in your book? If it's not forbidden, what obstacles must the characters overcome to stay together? So, yes, kind of is what I'm going to just say about that because if you notice, I didn't really give you too many details about the main love interest in the last question because I feel like it's kind of a spoiler if I tell you who he is, and why it's kind of forbidden romance slash just like difficult romance. Um, that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I don't really want to give too much detail because I feel like that's a spoiler because it does play a part in that storyline. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna just leave it at that because I don't want to. I really truly think that it would be a spoiler, so I'm just not going to do it. And that's it. That is the end of the Titanic tag. Uh, I I think this tag is cute because it's very like romantic, especially if you're writing a romance book or have a romance subplot in your story. I think this is really cute. Uh, in regards to that, I don't think this tag is suitable for like if you don't have at least a romance subplot in your book because it talks about like love interests and stuff like that. So I I am going to tag because she's really my only friend on YouTube. I'm gonna tag April. April K. She just finished her gargoyle story, and I know that there is sort of a romance in her next story. And I'd be curious to know a little bit more about it because, like I said, this is a very romantic tag, and I feel like it's very suitable. Again, if you are either writing a romance or you have a romance subplot, because I'm not writing a romance, but I definitely have a romance subplot in my story. So I tag April, and then I don't really know who else to tag, honestly. So if you're watching this and you want to do the tag, then go ahead. I am going to try and remember to put the questions down in the description because when I was looking up tags, I realized how many tags didn't have questions in the description, and that made it difficult to write down questions and answer them. So I'm going to try and do that. Try and remember. But I tagged April K to do the Titanic writing tag so I can hear about her characters and whoever else wants to do this tag. So um, that's the end of the tag. If you want to come hang out with me, I have my Instagram and my Twitter down below. I'm mostly on Instagram, but I'm trying to get better at least looking at people's Twitter. Honestly, I'm not really posting much on there. And then I'm trying to bring back the tags. And I also do Scribbler unboxings every month and I do vlogs. So if you like unboxings or vlogs or you like tags, why don't you hit the subscribe button and hang out with me and we'll learn about our stories about with each other and you'll get to see my chaotic journey of writing and doing this and yeah. So thanks for hanging out with me right now. All right, bye.